Thank you for joining today's live session. Welcome. And I'm hoping that all of you are enjoying the course. And from the feedback that I get through our chat forum, I noticed that most of the questions are related to platform rules as to what happens if I don't submit week 1 assignment, what happens if I miss 2 weeks assignment, how is the evaluation going to be, etc., which are already answered questions. And I'm sure our team would also respond to such questions which are mostly generated to the related to the NPTEL program rules. Okay, I will not be specifically addressing them. Okay. But I only address course-related questions, content, mostly course content-related questions. Okay, so one category of questions that is still repeating is about how the course material would be supplied, and it appears that those who ask these questions have not gone through the live sessions. Okay, particularly live session 1 addressed this question already. Okay, and I will not repeat the same answers again and again in every live session. Okay, so I request again those who have questions about reading materials, please refer to live session 1. Recorded video is already available in NPTEL, please. And let me also tell you that this is a postgraduate level course, PG level course. Okay, this is not an undergraduate level course. Okay, typically in a UG level course, a faculty would use a textbook and explain the concepts in the textbook with, say, more examples and more elaboration in a classroom. Okay, and that is how typically a undergraduate course will go. In PG level and in PhD level, okay, we do not teach simply the textbook. Okay, reading the textbook is the students' or the participants' responsibility. And a class is not meant to repeat the same things which are already covered in the textbook. An instructor may refer to the textbook, but the class will be much more than the textbook, okay, because it is advanced level course, and it is the same principle that is followed in the textbook in this course. And that is why you see more reading materials that is used in the course, because it's not a UG course, it's a PG course, and therefore I have brought course materials from other sources like journals, case publications by Harvard Business School, and so on. And therefore, it is mandatory for this course to cover such current and advanced, use such advanced materials to drive the concepts with touch with the world of practice. Okay, and that is the reason it is the course uses those materials. Now, your concern is how you get access to those materials, for which I have given certain tips in live interaction 1. Okay, and please go through that. And and NPTEL policy will not allow supply of materials and textbooks for the participants. You have to procure them yourself. Okay, so I'm only giving the rationale for why those materials are used in the course. Okay, and yeah, I would leave that topic there. Let me also look at other questions that has come from the participants. Okay. Somebody has asked what is the full form of BIA. I think that relates to week 4, contingency planning, business impact analysis, BIA. Okay, and please read the textbook. Okay, and that is very important for you to follow this course. Okay, and the specific chapters which I always cover or share with you in the live interaction, which is the reading material that you should specifically go through. And for week 5, I'm going to share that with you today before I forget. So give me a moment. Week 5 is about policy. So let me actually share with you the specific reading from the textbook and other sources that you need to read in order to get a full view of the week. Okay, so week 5 is about policy. So here in the chat, I am sharing the specific reading for that. Okay. Okay, this is of course chapter 4 of your textbook, has a section, okay, page number 177 to 213 covers information security policy. Okay, then the lecture and the PowerPoints, which is already shared with you, covers more aspects of what is policy, and what are the different levels in policy. Okay, policy can be at a higher level, policy can also operate at a procedural level. Okay, so I would say what is changing is the level of abstraction. Okay, at a higher level, if the policy is for an organization, then you connect the policy statements to the priorities and strategy of the organization. Okay, and talk at that level. Okay, but when at a procedural level, it comes to implementation, how the specific aspects of the policy will be embedded, say in certain rules. Say it could actually work at the level of a firewall configuration. Okay, but it actually percolates from the top. Okay, so there is a policy, it gets implemented at a rule level. So that is a basic idea which is explained in the course video, and also the PowerPoint will be useful. Please read the textbook chapter 4, pages 177 to 213. And also you are given an additional reading, which is from a article, SBR article, Internet Insecurity, the End of Cybersecurity. Okay, that is another reading. Okay, that is given for this course. And please get access this material, find a way to access this material on your own. And I have given you tips in live interaction 1. Okay, that is as far as policy is concerned. Let me also check what are the other questions that has come from audience. Well, I hope I am audible and visible. Everything is going well.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Okay, there was a question. Oh, okay. There was a couple of errors that crept into the evaluation of week 3 or the assignment of week 3, which would be re-evaluated. Thank you for highlighting that. I think many people wrote about this, and we will be doing the re-evaluation. Okay, sorry about it. And somebody has commented the lectures in each week end abruptly and start at a different topic. Request continuity and proper closure in each lecture if possible. Since the participant has not given a specific example, I am not able to understand what is the issue here. For example, each week has a topic. Okay? And I am very sure about it. Each week has a topic. For example, week 4, the topic was contingency planning, incidents response, disaster recovery, and business continuity. Okay, so essentially it was about planning. Okay, and one planning is contingency planning. We will, in the week 6, we will come to risk management, which is planning to manage risk. Okay, that is another type of planning. Okay, between contingency planning and risk management, you have the policy, because it is policy that guides risk management. So therefore we deal with that. Okay, so therefore there is a rationale for the flow of the course each week. Okay, so contingency planning was the theme of week 4. And there are 3 videos which shows the contingency planning topic is divided into 3 sub-themes or subtopics. And the final one would be a case discussion. Okay. And you can feel, or you can say that, the case discussion has come abruptly. Okay. It is not abrupt. Okay. It is a planned topic. The case of the iPremier company, which is a classical Harvard case, denial of service attack, which shows how an organization was not prepared, okay, to face an incident. Okay. And it doesn't know how to respond to an incident. Contingency planning is all about that. Okay. You assume that despite all the protection mechanisms you have in place, still things can go wrong. Okay. And therefore, what happens if you are not prepared? Okay. You stare at the wall. Okay. You blame each other. Okay. And you just see the clock ticking and don't know what to do. So that is the drama that you see, a real drama that you see in the case. Okay. And then you ask this question, what the organization could have done or should have done to avoid this kind of issues, what they should have done before, what they should have done during, and what they should have done post the incident. Okay. And that is what contingency planning is. Basically, the case is only driving the concepts of contingency planning with a practice point of view or with a real life point of view. Okay. So each of these lectures are related. Look at the theme of the week and then try to see how the pieces connect well together. Okay. And for example, cybersecurity policy is the theme for week 5. And then you will see what is policy, how policy changes behavior at even at the national level, at the organizational level, at the individual level, and what are the different elements. So basically it is to motivate the importance of policy that I first spent a few slides on. What is the importance of policy? In the absence of policy, the desired behavior will not evolve. Okay. If you have a desired behavior for an organization or for an individual, okay, and it is a policy that and the implementation of that policy that bring about a desired behavior. Okay, if security is an important compliance behavior you accept from individuals, then there should be a policy in place and the policy should be communicated and the policy should be implemented. Otherwise, people will not comply. Okay, so that is the effort in this session, along with a lot of examples from real life. Okay, and then it is also driven by an article on internet insecurity. Okay, the opposite of security. So, and how that article emphasizes the need for an informed policy. Okay, especially when you have critical infrastructure. Okay? And there is a specific meaning to critical infrastructure. Okay, you have an industry talk coming up 2 weeks from now, and then you will actually listen to what is critical infrastructure. For example, health infrastructure. Okay, or your energy. Okay, or finance and banking, etc. These are all critical infrastructure for a country. Okay, and within an organization, you can identify critical infrastructure, and that identification is important because unless you know what is critical to run your organization or to run your country, you will not prioritize. Okay, and when you prioritize, well, A, B, C are critical, then how you actually plan for your security in the era of internet. Okay, and you will see that there is a very important observation by the author of that article, that any system that is connected to internet is insecure. Okay. If you go by that observation, then what do you do? Okay, what do you connect and what do you don't connect? Okay. When you decide to disconnect, then there is an impact because you lose certain you lose certain output, or you lose certain efficiency, you lose certain convenience of running your organization. Okay, you seem to be turning the clock back and going back to the era of no internet. Is that the way? So there is enough material for thought process there, at a decision making level. Okay, how do you prioritize? And the subsequent week, okay, when it comes to risk management, that is a week 6, you will see there is a real life case of a manufacturing company implementing IoT solution and getting into into cyber insecurity. Okay, so these are all sequenced such that you understand contingencies, you understand the importance of policy, and subsequently you go into risk management. Okay, so that is the topic for the next week. Okay, so the current week is on policy, and there is a question on data owners and data custodians, which I already clarified in the previous week. And please do listen to the videos which are already there before firing your questions. And sorry if you have asked these questions beforehand. And somebody has asked how to control the smart cars. I do not know, without elaboration, what do you mean by this question? Because smart cars are, as you know, internet connected cars. And therefore, as I said, any system that is connected to internet is not fully secure. And therefore, you are asking me a question as to how to solve this problem. There is no panacea or a medicine sort of an advice sort of a thing to solve this problem. One is the conventional or the conservative answer: don't use smart cars. Okay, or don't use cars at all if you are afraid of accidents. Okay, but then how can you use smart cars and still be secure? Okay, if that is your question, then you may have to wait for week 6, where we address a similar problem, which is related to IoT, okay, internet connected sensors and controllers which are used in the industry. How that can actually lead to problems, or that can lead to cyber attack. And if so, what to do? Okay, so the problems are similar. So along with that case discussion, you may get to know the different threats of the problem and what potentially could be a broad approach. Okay. And I think I don't have any more I don't have any more questions that has come in the chat box. And let me try to read out some questions which has just come up in the chat box now, since I have exhausted the questions already. Which path one should follow to advance their career in InfoSec through certification courses like CEH? I think it stands for Certificate on Ethical Hacking, OSCP, and CISSP. It confuses me a lot while going through the dedicated path. Please help me. Okay, so now, so as I said in the beginning, this is educational program, or it's a course on cybersecurity and privacy. It's a course. It's not a training program, which actually is intended for providing you certain skills. Okay, this is not a skill-based course. It is actually knowledge. Okay, and essentially a course, an academic course, would focus on educating you with concepts. Okay, and with understanding of those concepts and frameworks and how you can apply that. Okay, now if you want to get trained in a particular specific area, okay, it could be training on, say, ISO standards or NIST standards, which is more management related. It could be specifically on CEH, OSCP, which I understand as technical skills. It depends basically on your interest and what kind of job and career are you looking for. Okay, and since I myself haven't gone through a specific training of the kind which you mentioned here, I haven't gone through a ethical hacking program myself. My understanding is more at the awareness level. I'm aware what it is, but the specific benefits of it, I'm not able to tell you offhand. Okay, so but always the best thing is that you connect with people who have already undergone such training programs and ask them what benefits they got. If there is a community of trained people, and the best way to connect with such people is platforms like LinkedIn. Okay, so where you see a lot of promotions of this kind of programs, and you will also see people who have undergone this program. So one suggestion is to have a LinkedIn account and then try connect with people who have gone through this training programs and what kind of careers they are in, etc. Okay, to some extent you may get some insights when you have the industry talk 2 weeks from now. Okay, so but not very specific to the particular training programs you have asked me. Okay, and I do not see any. Okay, good. So LinkedIn is the professional networking. So it's through networking that you get to know a lot of things. And then, of course, depending on which is the training organization, right? Is it ISACA or is it PMI? Okay, ISACA is very specifically focused on. It's a global body, and it has a presence in India, and they conduct training, and their trainings are very valuable. Okay, ISACA trained would add definitely to your, to your competence and also to your CV. And I would recommend relevant training, because depending on your interest and your career interest, from ISACA, definitely, since it is the most important industry body, I would think, for cybersecurity. Okay. PMI would be another body, and then of course the standard organizations like the ISO, which ISO doesn't directly give training, but there are other organizations which provide ISO training. Okay, so ISO series of standards for cybersecurity we discussed already. Super. I think if there are no further questions, I can close here. Enjoy this week's videos and get a firm footing on what is policy, okay, and what are different levels of policy, what are the different levels at which a policy works. This will be very important learning for you, for not only for cybersecurity, but to be a good professional. You should be aware of the first document that you should ask for is what is the policy, okay, before making any subjective opinions. All right, so I will close here and then wish you all the best, and see you next week.
Somebody there? Hello?